Marvel Studios producer Nate Moore was recently a guest on The Town, and he reveals a bunch of details in relation to Marvel Studios' goings-on, and of course, what their plans are for the future. When asked about what the top secret meeting was that Kevin Feige confirmed did happen to plan out the future of the MCU, MCU producer Nate Moore doesn't actually remain tight-lipped. Instead, he gives us some details and insight into what was going on. So when he was asked by the host, Matthew Baloney, on what exactly their plan is, how they come up with the plans, and what they do, Nate Moore confirmed in a joking manner that the not-so-secret meeting that Kevin Feige revealed was happening 2 years ago was an actual thing, where they all went to a Palm Springs resort and essentially they sat down to hash out multiple details of what is going on. Essentially, they sat down and they looked at the MCU's future in terms of phase 1 through 3, and they applied that same approach to phases 4 through 6. And he says that this is one of the things where they looked at it and said, well, in the first phase, we introduced the idea of Thanos. Then, of course, we got the Gauntlet and the Stones, and we built up Infinity War and Endgame. So we are going to repeat that same type of structure, but we're going to do it at a larger scale. So they mapped out the next 2 phases, figuring out what exactly would be the next entries in the MCU that include the 2 next Avengers films. And he reveals that once they figure out a trajectory, it of course can change, but they have a general idea of the producers involved, of the directors, the writers, and everything like that. And then they individually start to brainstorm how they can slowly approach different corners of the universe and who might be fit for that. So he says they start building an internal document that includes all these pieces. And then you're reading everything, you're looking at everything, you're figuring out where characters like Captain America, Ant-Man, the Eternals, and such can go and where they can show up. And then you're shopping these ideas around to the other creators, seeing how we can brainstorm more that comes out of that and how to connect it at a deeper level while also still giving you some individuality. And he said that this is more or less what the retreat was, and this is where they hashed out what the announcements would be that are coming up. Now, obviously, 2 years ago, that means that they were making decisions that brought us Kang Dynasty, that brought us, obviously, Secret Wars, Armor Wars, and all that. So you can see how this retreat was sort of just a, hey guys, let's plan the next 5 to 8 years of the MCU right now, and then once we're done here, we go and start tackling that. And obviously, he reveals a couple more details in terms of the partnerships, the creative process, and all that, which we don't really need to cover here. But honestly, sounds like they pretty much hashed out everything across one weekend, extended weekend at that, and then they all just kind of went to work on it, and now we're deep into phase 4 and almost at phase 5.